All right, welcome everybody. I'm live. Let me grab my glasses. I'm back. All right, gotta get the specs. Let's make sure everybody can see. Oh, yeah, got a little Jameson action there. The label. Jake Black, what's happening? All right, man. You seemed like you were sitting upright pretty good at the meeting earlier, so that's good news. We'll just chill out here and check everybody that I'll chat with everybody that checks in for the next couple of 3 minutes or so, and then we'll get rolling with the show. Darren Hall, hello. What's up, Darren? Danny Prather's in the house. What's happening, Danny Prather? You actually made it on time, too. You're early. Hang on, I gotta check that. That's Amy. So, let's see. Ryan Palumbo, good evening. Irish theme here as well. Guinness here. Oh, nice. I had a Guinness. I borrowed a Guinness from John Denton. That was pretty tasty at the race this weekend. So I haven't had a Guinness in a while. So it was good. A couple of texts here. I flipped over to my screen, so I'll keep chatting with you guys, but I'm on a different screen here. Oh, good. All right. Sorry. Sending a message there. Daniel Lemons is in the house as well, too. Welcome, Daniel, from Wichita Falls. Paul Dyer. What's happening, Paul Dyer? Hey, Paul. I probably saw you, and then I was just so distracted. I think you were there this weekend, but I can't remember. I had my head down and was taking money and giving plates out, so I was like, I was so clueless about half the time. Paula Kelly, what's happening? The McGinnis Kellys are in the house. What's happening? And we'll talk a little bit about Paula's race upcoming here in a little bit when we do our update. So got a little update there. Herb Brown, what's happening? Herb, how was your first race ride? Everything at St. Crispin's this weekend. Looked like you finished, and didn't look like you were looked like you were in good spirits. So. While we're waiting and while we're getting settled in, the categories or the things we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to just do a little Crispin's recap. A race this weekend. We had our first dirt race this weekend. It was phenomenal. Just do a quick little recap and chat about that a bit. I'm going to talk briefly about the new e-bike category and the success that I feel that it had. We're going to give a shout out to a new sponsor, and we've had several of these rolling in over the last few weeks, which has been pretty cool. Excuse me. I'm going to do a USEC license reminder again. I'm just kind of doing the USEC license topic every week, just as a reminder, and trying to kind of get everything, get all the information out to all the people that need it, and make it easier for race day registration and things of that nature. And then we have rider topics. So I had a couple of topics sent in from a couple of racers from this weekend. And one of them was leg markings. And I want to go ahead and discuss that because I think that's a great topic and a good concept and something that I'm so used to that I don't pay much attention to it. But something that some of the newer riders probably need to know. And maybe even some of the experienced riders need to know and just don't pay attention. So we're going to talk about it and what it is and what they are, why we use them. and go from there. And then I'm just going to do a brief upcoming events. So that's the plan for tonight. Let's see, Herb. This is a drag the bike up and down the course. Maybe you should have pre-read. Yeah, that was a rough one to go into blind. I got lucky. I mean, honestly, I haven't been on my mountain bike. I've been riding on the trainer in the house just because of the daylight and all the things going on in my world. And I haven't been on my actual mountain bike in 3 months. And I pulled it out Saturday and did a pre-ride. And darned if I can't actually still ride a bike. Not very fast, but fast enough. So, but yeah, there were some tricky sections out there that if you were flying blind, and I was really glad that I got out there Saturday and got a little sneak peek at it, because there's some sneaky corners and things like that. But yeah, so glad you had a good time. And even though you had to drag your bike a little bit, but that's all part of the game sometimes. So glad you had a good time. Alrighty. The usual. If you guys have questions, comments, I know that if you're not logged in, you cannot comment. Amy isn't currently that status. So I've had a YouTube account for quite some time, so I'm not quite sure if you can just log into it with a current Gmail account, or if you actually have to go in and set up YouTube with your Gmail account or an email account. But I've just had one for so long, I don't really pay that much attention to it. I thought it was all part of your Gmail because, I mean, Google bought YouTube, or own YouTube, so something of that nature. So anyway. So I know there's some of you out there that can't comment, and but the way it works is you have to be logged into your YouTube account using, I think you have to use a Gmail. You may not. Maybe some of you guys can correct me. I've just used Gmail, so I really don't know any other email system. I haven't had anything other than a Gmail account for 25 years, so, or whenever it was created. Anyway. But yeah, so welcome, and I know that some of you are out there, but if you are logged in, you can comment. Feel free to chime in and jump in, and I'll respond, and we'll go from there. And that's kind of how this show works. So I give a shout out to Kai Cordis and my Cordis crew. So I'm wearing my Fort Lewis College cycling shirt tonight. So I saw where Kai was going, ending a big mountain bike camp that he was on, and having to come back to reality. So anyway, I wanted to give a shout out for him while wearing his shirt today. So Fort Lewis College, Durango, not a bad place to be. Looks like Alan White's daughter's fixing to head up there on a music scholarship as well too. So we have another Oklahoma teammate headed down there just for a slightly different endeavor. Jason Engelke, first lap was a mess. Troy was smooth as Chardonnay. Yeah, boy, I tell you, old Troy boy with the man bun came out. I haven't seen Troy in forever. I love Troy. And yeah, he can ride his bike a little bit, but I think maybe the wheels fell off the bus a little bit. But I'm just glad I wasn't out there battling with all you guys. So that was a tough 40-49 Cat 1 crew. Okay, Danny, that's what I thought. So Danny Prather says he's using an AOL account, but he just logged in through the Gmail portal. So, Jason. I'm bummed you missed it too, Jay Black, but there's going to be plenty more where that came from, and I mean, you just couldn't risk it because you're a man. I'm telling you, like I told you in a private message, I've seen you crash at 20+ mile an hour into a tree, and I thought you were going to die, and you smashed your bike, and you got up, and you're okay. And then to see the pain that you're in from your back going out Saturday was completely catastrophic compared to that. So I hope you get better, and whatever pain meds you got, get that back better, and get back on the bike, and you'll be all good, I'm sure. So something happened here. Hang on a second. I think I'm still live fine. I'm checking over on another thing. I got a couple error messages on another little feature here. Yeah, that's not happening, so that's okay. We'll come back here. You want to give a shout out here? Got a little Jameson Irish whiskey. I'm not going to crack that open tonight. I'm going to keep that baby sealed for another evening. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Michael Bond. He brought me this gift this weekend, so I'm stoked, and I'm going to hold on to this for a special occasion. So maybe we can do a remote Wizard update at some point in the near future, and we'll break this bad boy out. So Jason Inkelke says you'll be back, Jay Black. Yes, he will. Yeah, and you guys will all be duking it out. I'm glad I'm not in that mix anymore. That was a rough little category. You guys are studs. That Cat 1 40 to 49. That category is no joke, folks. Alrighty, let's get to business. Let me check one thing here. All right, I'm not gonna deal with that right now. I'm gonna keep cruising. All right, topic number 1. Let me get my notes here. I actually had a little bit of a gap. I was kind of worried today, so I've had to do three things back to back. So I had to get off work, but luckily I went into work early, and I went into work at like 5:15 today, just because I woke up, couldn't go back to sleep. So I just said heck with it. I got up, went to work early, so spent all day working. Took off a little bit early, got my training ride in. Had time for a little snack and a little glass of wine, and then my son cooked dinner just now, and I finished about 20 minutes ago. But in between that, I had a board meeting, Bike Lab board meeting online, so that lasted for about an hour, and then I had this. So, whew, man, it's been a day. It's been a day. So. Jason, I was scared too, because so I guess is Chris 40 now? Wow, I didn't realize that. Jason was talking about being scared that Chris Drummond could join him at any time. Well, I thought he was going to come join the single speeders, because like he gave me this random message throughout the week and asked when the single speeder start was. So he would have crushed all of us. Of course, John Denton crushed us all instead. So it was all good. Oh yeah, I got a little something here. It's not all that good. I don't know if you guys can even see that. It's hard to see. Got my St. Crispin's. I got 2 of them. I got my St. Crispin's shot glasses here from this weekend. So snagged a little extra. So let's get into the topic. St. Crispin's this weekend. We've already kind of briefly alluded to it. First race of the Tour de Dirt season, and I assumed that everybody was jonesing to get out and race their bikes and be around their friends and get back to some normalcy. I had no idea what was going to happen this weekend, or what did happen this weekend. And we still don't have exact numbers. I haven't had a chance to really talk with Mike and Joanne, because I've been so busy today and yesterday. And I haven't had a chance to see the results that Tom and Debbie will get posted probably tonight. I mean, heck, they may be posted now, and I'm just not aware of it. We had to have had over 200 riders, and we had 133 pre-regged. And I sat at the number plate table. Granted, this is the first race of the season, so nobody has a number plate. So that means that everybody has to come see me. I did sell a few plates on Saturday, so that kind of helped a little bit at the Riders the Racer Summit. which was a success. And thank you, Debbie Ugling, for organizing that. I'm sure Tom helped as well too. But I sat at that number plate table from 9 o'clock until 12. And then I ran to get changed and try to get on my bike and get my gear ready, because my race was supposed to start at 12:30. Luckily, it got delayed about 15 minutes, I think, because we had some Cat 3s coming in. So that gave me a little bit of time. But then I had to come back at 12:15 and sell one plate. So literally for 3 hours and change, all I did was sell plates 24/7. So there were that many people just flying through, coming in, getting registered. So I don't know what our total was. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that number when we get the results uploaded tonight, hopefully. But it had to have been over 200. I think we've reached 200 twice, and we've come close a couple of times. Typically, Sooner Stampede, which is our race number 2 coming up that we'll talk about more tonight, and then more in more detail, and possibly a remote Wizard update from the team warm-up location. But outside of that, we have Sooner Stampede Claremore has gotten really, really close to 200, and now St. Crispin's. So that's really the only venues that we've had. So everybody was stoked to come race. So the weather was perfect. Course was perfect. Mike and Joanne did a great job, and staff. They had a whole staff out there helping them with lodging and checking in and coursework and registration. And the new lodge was awesome. I got to stay in the new lodge. I know it's been built a while, but it's been a while since I've been staying out there. It wasn't ready last year, and it was a wonderful little place. So take that back. Wonderful big place. It was not little. That lodge is awesome, and the dining hall next door is cool as can be as well too. So it was yeah, everything was good. Let's see, I probably have notes of things I want to talk about. Just make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, I mean that's mostly it in a nutshell. Unless you guys have any comments or things that you guys want to talk about it. I was so many things kind of culminated and came together to make this event happen, and I'm so glad that we were able to get this going, and felt that we did it safely, and we'll find out, and we'll see how the future progresses. But so much fun. Ryan Palumbo, yeah, it was their anniversary as well. I know, right? I didn't even know that. I saw a post that I think Joanne made late Sunday or maybe yesterday, talking about their anniversary over the weekend that they held a race. So yeah, so that's awesome. I love Mike and Joanne. I'm not even sure how long I've known them. Obviously, I've worked with them as race promoters and race director for the last 8 years, but I'm not sure how long I've known them. A long time. So they're awesome folks, and you guys know what kind of a job they do out there. So yeah, so thumbs up. St. Crispin's was a success. Let's see, Herb Brown, race for the gold, push back. Yep, Herb. And I got that. Yeah, I talked to Paula Herb on that, and I'll mention that here in a little bit, actually. So you are correct about that. Herb Brown says the race for the gold was pushed back to 3/21. It was originally scheduled for this coming weekend, but looks like pretty much our entire state's going to be raining from tomorrow through Sunday. So not many things are going to be happening in our state. So. All right, topic number 2. And again, like if you guys have questions, comments, things that I've talked about or past or whatever, hit me up. So Paula just chimed in and says 3/21's rain or shine. and that is for the Race for the Gold at Kelly Farms. So the second topic is actually still part of the St. Crispin's topic, but a segue, slightly different. So I added a new sponsor last week, and I announced them. I've been in conversations with Brian Harrison, works at Ajax Motorsports, and that's anybody that's driven up and down I-35 down the Norman area, they've seen Ajax. It's the motocross track. They have this, they sell, I think they actually sell e-bikes. They sell all kinds of motorcycles. And in fact, I liked one of their posts today because they had this enduro motorcycle. It was pretty sweet looking that you could go on these enduro long trips with. It was pretty cool looking. Anyway, but they also have the motocross track out there, and it's not, it's pretty common to be cruising through, by I-35 over that bridge by Norman and seeing just kids out there just whipping it and jumping and doing all kinds of stuff. But anyway, Ajax came on board as a sponsor, but how that happened was just an email to me from Brian Harrison at Ajax. And he said, hey, I've got a bunch of my motocross guys. And I hope I'm saying motocross. I'm probably saying it wrong. There's probably all kinds of different terms that I'm unaware of because I'm not a motorcycle guy, so I don't really know the lingo. But he said we have a lot of guys that like to do e-bikes for cross training and off season and things of that nature, and was curious if you had an e-bike category. Well, I've dabbled in the thoughts of doing it, but it just really didn't have the numbers to justify it. And with his assurance that he had many riders that were interested, I decided to go ahead and do it as a test this year. And the test was a success. We had 11 riders. It's a great turnout. Everybody that I talked to had a great time. We started them in front of the single speeders, in front of the Cat 2s to give them the most space, both in front and behind. And I think it worked out well. Everybody that I talked to that rode one or had an e-bike in their space, I didn't have any negative comments, and all the guys that rode their e-bikes had a ball. Most of them didn't even know these events existed, and that's because a lot of them don't, and locally none of them exist. So we're the first in the state to really take this on. So I hope it grows. I hope it continues to grow. I also heard from a couple of people that there was apparently some maybe enduro type motorcycle event happening this weekend as well, and that would have taken away some of the riders that could have come to mountain bikes. So who knows? Hopefully we'll even have more at the next one. But anyway, it was super cool. It's not often that, because for me, when I make decisions like that to create a category or to get rid of a category or to combine a category, I've made many changes over the last 6-7 years, and not all of them work. In fact, probably I'm only about 50-50, and I'm not afraid to change my. We try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, we dump it and get rid of it. I have no problem with that. I've done that on several things that we've tried. Several things didn't work, and we've gone away from them and moved and gone back to the way it was. This was one of those. This is a risk. We're going to try it out and see how it plays out, and knock on wood, first race played out well. So who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see how the rest of the races go, but I'm super stoked to see all the guys on e-bikes. And I had a bunch of comments from a bunch of people that said, I think I would love to do that e-bike category. So there might be some e-bike purchases over the next few weeks. Who knows? So you shops out there that have e-bikes, be sure and let everybody know. We've got a place for you to race that thing. John Denton's in the house. with 2 claps, and I'll give you the clap, John, because you kicked our ass in single speed this weekend, bro. Good job this weekend. I'll take a mitigated second, only because Ryan McMahon and Kevin Caldwell flatted. They were both kicking my ass too, so I'll take it. This means that we ended up getting a Bike Lab trio on the podium, so I'll take it. That's good stuff. Some banana flavored vodka thing. I don't know where it came from. So I told Tony today, John, that I got to get my training plan going, that I got some work to do. I haven't started yet. So, oh, goodness. All right, next topic. Going to be a long one. 25 minutes in. We'll see if we can speed things up. Nah, it's not going to be that long. So, I don't know. I do have a whole back sheet, so I got a front and a back. So, yeah. Dude, Engelke, he had the wrong gear. He totally had the wrong gear, but it turned out to be the right gear. Yeah. So you know, the single speed rule is like you're always in the right gear and you're always in the wrong gear. So yeah. Yeah, Jason, there was a lot of DNFs. I did see that, but like a lot of that, I mean, I bet a lot of that goes to play like just, you know, take me for example. I was lucky. But I've not been riding my mountain bike. I've just been training and stuff like that. But I just missed some of my equipment. So like I didn't have my CO2. I didn't have my tube. I had a tube, but I didn't have my CO2 and my tire level and all that gear I need to fix a bike. Because I left it in my gravel bag, which is here at the house, which doesn't do me any good 3.5 hours away. And, you know, luckily I put stands in my tires literally Friday before the weekend. And then just there's, you know, I mean, there's so many levels of fitness. Nobody knew where they were at. I mean, we've all been training, we've all been riding, but did we really know where we were at? Nobody knew. I mean, I kind of knew where I was at, and I knew it wasn't great, but I was just hoping I could get through, and that's kind of what I did. So yeah, so I think there was some DNFs just because it's been a crazy year and everybody's been going through a lot. But now everybody's got you know, they got their interest sparked. They've got their fitness sparked. They know where they're at. They know what they got to do. They have a baseline. So, you know, everything's going to be good. You just got to get your plan and start moving forward. So. John says he did have the wrong gear, which turned out to be the right gear, John. All right, let's move on. New sponsor. So it's just kind of worked out perfect that I've just had some conversations with some people. Not really planned this, and I've not really, you know, really worked it that hard. But we just had some interest from a few individuals. We try to keep our sponsorship small. I don't want to do a lot of sponsors. We like to do a really good, solid, small group of sponsors that are important to us and have meaning to us, have, you know, we're friends with, we know, versus just the scatter approach where you get a whole bunch of sponsors. So, we've done that this year. Debbie Ugling is helping me with a few more that we likely will have upcoming soon. But I've just had a few here as well too. And so our most recent one is going to be Craig McIntyre. You guys probably know him as the previous Gravel Growler promoter. He also owns and runs the bike shop in Shawnee called Spokelahoma. Super cool cat. And I really missed you know, hanging out with him for the last 2 years. We've done a live weekly Wizard update show from his shop before the week before his race, and it's been a ball. And so I missed that this year, and I missed the race this year too, just because of physical issues. And but anyway, so I would say welcome, Craig. Welcome to Spokelahoma, and we'll get your we're gonna get your logo and stuff out on the website and pretty quickly we're going to start working with Jarrett Good to start getting the Turd to Dirt trailer all tatted up with the new logos, and we'll be dragging those to all the races. So welcome, Craig. Welcome to Oklahoma, Shawnee, Oklahoma. They're mostly known for gravel, but they do dabble in all the other disciplines. So, and I hear that Craig builds it is a super wheel builder. So, just throwing that out. So, go down there, see him, hang out, buy some stuff. Be sure and say hi from the Wizard, and I bet you'll get a discount, at least a drink, at least a free drink. All right, USA Cycling license update. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, cool. So as you know, prior to my prior posts and some of the other Facebook posts leading into St. Crispin's, I was trying to get everybody to get out, get their license taken care of, get their annuals taken care of, especially if you're a junior. Or you have a junior or Kids Cup racer, get that annual license because it's free. And so I know many of you had trouble with the online process. Some of you successfully navigated that, some not. But I do know that I sat next to Don Jonathan during registration for 3 hours this weekend. And I think the entire time that I'm selling plates, he was filling out paperwork for people that were getting annual licenses and one-day licenses. So I think quite a few people probably filled out the form and got an annual license during the race this weekend. And then hopefully you guys will then log on and get that information over the next couple of weeks and get that confirmed. Once you do get that information, the key trick is, and it seems like the really holding pattern for everybody, even for us, even for me, that I'm on auto renewal, so I just renew mine every year. But the sticking point is that once you get your license and once you get an account online, there's this online waiver that you have to sign, and there's just no obvious place online on the computer when you're using a computer to sign this thing online. It seems like almost everybody had to go to their phone and use the app on their phone to do it. I was able to do that. It still didn't work. I sent an email to the membership email. I think it's like membership email at usacycling.com. I've posted a few times on Turd to Dirt about it. And just email them and they'll help you get it taken care of. So, and if you have continual issues, then be sure and let me know too. And Nick I talked with Nick. Nick Vickers just popped in and mentioned something, and I worked with him last week about that. He said using the email to USA Cycling seemed to work best for him, especially if you have kids and you're trying to get your kids tied to your account. And that's always tricky. And everybody that has kids that I've dealt with, trying to get their kids tied to their account and under that has been difficult. I was talking to Amy Bean, my Kids Cup director, and her and her kids have been racing for years, and still she was having issues where she actually logs into her account and then has to log out and log into her own kid's account. So definitely, if you have any issues, take Nick's advice and just email the email address they give for troubleshooting. I can give that to you. Holler at me if you can't find it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's membership. I think it says membership email at usacycling.com. So, and then Danny Prather chimed in, said the same thing. He did his from his phone Saturday night in about 20 minutes. And he was able to tie his son and his wife to his account. So there you go. All right. So it can be done. It just depends on the situation. It's tricky. I actually had to do what Nick did. I used the email because even though I signed my waiver with my phone app, it still showed me pending. And yeah, that just happens. I will, you know, what I will do is, like, as a race director and whatever, I don't know what I'm called, but I have access to download this huge CSV file, and it lists like basically every license in the United States. And I just cut that down to like Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, because those are the people that can come to our races. And I can look and see if your license is pending or not. And so what I'll do is I'll give it like a week before T-Bird, and then I'll look at that. I'll download that CSV and I'll look at it, and then I'll reach out to anybody that has a pending license, just let them know, because usually it's pretty easy to fix once you know. So anyway, so I'll do that. So all right, well, I appreciate your comments, Nick. Danny, thank you for that, because that's always the tricky one, especially when you're trying to tie kids or other people to your account, and that's something that I've never had to do. So all right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come back. So this last topic came in from a rider. I had a couple of topics come in from some riders, but I decided to do this one tonight. The other one I'm going to hold off for, because I don't really think it's a discussion for here. It's probably a discussion for my promoters and myself, and then further with my board. But this one is a good topic for everybody. And again, it goes back to one of the things that I've talked about a lot before, and that is that I've been doing this for a long time. Because of that, sometimes I just take for granted some of the procedures and things like that. And I always try to humble myself and, you know, and take myself back so that I can, you know, because I mean, I try to be an ambassador for this sport, and in doing so, it means helping new riders, people that are new to the sport. And so for me to do that, I really need to take myself back and kind of get out of my own way and look at it from a perspective of what it was like when I first came here. And so this is a perfect example of that. And the question was, what the heck are leg markings? Why do we have leg markings? What are we even looking for? What are the leg markings? And so, again, something that I've just taken for granted. I don't pay much attention to them, honestly. And the reason I don't is because I know all the riders. I know everybody that I'm racing against. I know all the people that I'm racing, that are racing in front of me. I know the people that are racing behind me. So, and besides, I race single speed, so all I have to do is look at their derailleur and know that they're not racing against me. But anyway, the leg markings are used, and you know, obviously in bad weather or cold weather. Hopefully, we're done with that. If people are wearing long pants or tights or things of that nature, then it kind of throws that into a mess, and you really can't do much there. But as long as you have an exposed calf, we mark your leg. We mark your leg to represent the category and age group or open category that you're racing in. And everybody in your group should have the same or similar markings. Depends on if we combine categories or not. So the idea is that I'm a single speeder. So our marking is SS for single speed. So I have an SS on my calf. That means that anybody racing single speed has an SS on their calf. That means that if some 19 to 29 or 19 to 39-year-old Cat 2s that start behind me bridge up to me, they don't have to worry that they have to chase me down or they have to race me or they have to do anything crazy. It lets them know that I'm a single speeder and they're technically not racing against me. Now, obviously, they're probably running from someone behind them, so they're going to want, if they do bridge up to me, Ryan Drummond, they're probably going to want to go around and continue on. But at least they know, and we know that we're not in the same category. So not only race strategy wise is that important, but it's also important too if you need to pass or you need to, position on the trail. So you can come up behind someone. I can be a single speeder and I'm catching someone that is a Cat 1, 50 plus guy. I'm like, hey, single speeder, I'm not racing you, I just need a round. And so that makes the transition to pass easier because you're not really racing one another. And so there's no incentive to get in each other's way. So that's the reasoning and why we do that. The idea is that you know who you're racing, you know who's in your category, you know if they're not in your category or age group. And that's what it is. So now, as for the leg markings themselves, how do we do it? So it basically comes down to, for the most part, it comes down to category and age group. Okay? There is also a slight distinction between the open groups. So there's some open groups that have designations that are slightly different than everybody else. So like SS is a single speed. EB is an e-bike. 60 plus is 60 plus open, which means our 60 plus is open everything, men, women, categories. So they get a 60 plus because that's their category. We also have a couple of small letters that designate women categories and junior categories. So W for women, J for juniors. And again, they're just small numbers. Some are 2, some are 3, but they designate your category, category 1, category 2, or category 3. Now we're going to continue to use 3. Maybe I should use, I may consider changing it to N to be proper because Cat 3s now actually are considered novices. The new term, the new phraseology is novice. It is not Cat 3. So I may very well change from using 3 for Cat 3 to an N for novice. You have category 1, category 2, novice. And then you have all the different age groups. So the age groups vary depending on your category. So we have some, 19 to 29. We have 19 to 39. We have 40 to 49. We have 40 plus. We have 60 plus. We have 50 plus. Depends on your category, depends on the different age groups. So let's give an example. Cat 1 racer, 40 to 49, Jay Black, Jason Engelke. Since they are Cat 1 and their age group is 40 to 49, their number is going to be 1, 4. 1 for category 1, 4 for 40 to 49. Okay. If you are a 19 to 39 Cat 1, again, you're going to be 1 for Cat 1 and 3 for 19 to 39. That's how it works. And then we have different breakdowns from there. So then you can say that we have a women's group. So so we have Cat 1 women, 19 to 39. So that's going to be W 1, 3. So it's the same as the men, 1, 3, but we preface it with a W for women, so that way we know. So that way the women know. If you were a Cat 2 woman at that, you would be W 2, 3, right? So the first number is your category. The second number is relative to your age group. And then we preface that with either a J for a junior or a W for a woman. And then we have the 3, like we have SS, we have for single speed, EB for e-bike, XL for the Clydesdales. So that's kind of that's the idea. I know that's confusing, it's a lot, but really the only thing that you need to know is your group. So you need to figure out your specific group that you're racing, what is on your leg, and then understand why that number is on your leg, or maybe that number in common and letter. And know that when it comes down to awards and podiums, if you're a Cat 1 money, or if you're a Cat 1 or 2 female, and you're racing in the unified payout for the Cat 1s and Cat 2 women, then you're racing against all those girls, or all of the boys in your group, or all the single speeders, or just all the e-bikes. So you're only racing against your particular leg marking. And that's important because then that way that helps you develop race strategy. It also helps you know if you really need to, you know, fight it out for position on someone that you're racing against. So that's all that. I mean, I don't know. I felt like I had that all in my head right. And then as I said it, it probably sounds more confusing than it was before. So hopefully not. But it hopefully at least gives you an idea of why we do it, and gives you a little bit of insight enough so that if you do have a question, you now know how to ask me the question. So Jason Inglekeith says, I know. So Jason brings up a good topic. That is another one. Yeah, I've shown up at work Monday with my leg markings still on because I didn't wipe it off good enough. I use a scrubby usually when I get home, so that takes it well. But a wet wipe, baby wipes, do a really good job of taking that off. So yeah. Of course, he did preface that with saying he still has his marking on. So sometimes, you know, I mean, if you feel proud of it, you want to leave that sucker on. So you don't want to like wipe around it and then, you know, show it off at work so that, you know, people at work ask you like, what is on your leg? And that way you can explain that you did something crazy this weekend. So, you know, it is kind of fun. Let's see. Ryan Palumbo, unrelated topic, but I do want to give a shout out to the junior racers that passed me. They were extremely polite, and that speaks well for the parents. Ryan, I 100% agree, and I got passed by at least a couple that juniors that were racing up into the adult category behind me. So I had the pleasure of riding Ry Drummond's wheel, and the whole time I was thinking like, man, if I could just come across the start finish going to lap 2. I couldn't hang on to him long enough. I was really hoping that we could get a picture together, and then we would get the 2 wizards, because I'm called the wizard and he's the bunny hopping wizard. And I was just hoping someone would get a picture of us together. But then he dropped me and I didn't see him again. So but I agree, like our junior crew is amazing, and all these young kids that we have racing. And that was something that I didn't mention when I was talking about the number of riders. I did have it in my notes and I just missed it. So Ryan, thank you for bringing that up. But Kids Cup, Amy Bean, our Kids Cup director, does a wonderful job. And once again, we killed it. We had 35 kids doing the Kids Cup. Now, I don't know. I mean, that didn't count the juniors. I'm not even sure how many juniors we had. That's just the Kids Cup. 35 kids. So that's pretty amazing. And then all these juniors that are just, oh man. So like Hunter Jackson, and it was like Malachi. Geez, those 2 kids are from Tulsa. It's like I haven't seen them in like a year, and I was like, I had to like stand up and like kind of measure. It's like I think I might still be taller than one of them, but the boys are growing. I think I'm still taller than Ryan Drummond though. Of course, that didn't really matter because he kicked my ass this weekend. So let's see. Wesley Olson, hello from Osaka. Welcome, Wesley. You're way out, bro. Hated to miss St. Christmas. I'm glad to hear everyone had a great time. Absolutely. Bummed you missed it, but you know, hopefully you'll be back soon and can partake in some of the Tear to Dirt for sure. John says, just forgot to scrub that part. That's because we're old, John. It's like it's hard to reach down that far and scrub all the way down there when you're in the shower. That's hard on your back. Oh, uh, and Yancha says she overheard one kid around 8 years old say, "Have you invested in a carbon seat post yet?" I know, right? Uh, so yeah, that's funny. That's funny. That's a good story. And and some of these kids probably true. And I'm like, I got my first carbon bike last year, and I've been riding for 20 years. So, oh well, it's good to be young. It's good to be young. So that's a great story, Ann. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, I don't have too much except some upcoming events. We're going to knock those out pretty quick. We're at 50 minutes, so that's not too bad. You guys have any last minute things you want me to discuss, you better toss them out here, because I'm going to knock this out pretty quickly. I think I am going to need the glasses, though. I wrote this a little bit small. Been wearing my glasses today to work on the computer, so once I start wearing glasses, I have to keep them on. So we had, let's see, our first Rage Against Chainring race this weekend. I think my buddy John Earhart did that. I'm not sure if any other Oklahomans did it, so maybe John at some point can give me an update. And that's a great event. It's in the Woodstock, Kansas area. They're doing a 4-race series. They have the next one on the 20th of March. And so, yeah, anyway, it's cool gig, cool deal. I love the grassroots thing. Mark Warner, Josh Sears, Apostle Bikes, guys are great. It's a really cool event. I'm bummed that I missed the first one, but it's kind of always that year. I'm hit or miss with I think I did one the first year, and then I was able to get 3 of the races last year. But I'm probably only going to be able to maybe get 1 or 2 this year just because scheduling. But super cool event. So they knocked that out at the same time we knocked out St. Crispin's. So that leads us into this weekend, Mid-South Virtual. So I don't know about you guys, but I love the guys at Mid-South and Bobby but given the weather, I'm probably not going to be out on my bike. So I'm just going to say hard pass, and we'll get busy in 2021. So, but I did get my swag bag, so I got my nice cool bottle here and use it on my trainer ride day, and got my other stuff. So yeah, so it's all good. On top of that, we have Race for the Gold was originally scheduled for the 14th, but as you saw in a previous message, they're going to reschedule for the 21st, and that's going to be rain or shine. So regardless of the rain, they're going to have that. It is a private course; they can do as they please because it's their business and their course. Race for Gold is going to be fun. It's a 3 event race all in one day. A short time trial. Actually, it's a short track race, and then a long jump where you have to jump your bike event, and then they have a time trial type event that gives you the option to just time trial it as fast as you can, or time trial it and pick up gold coins, which have gifts and time bonuses on them. So you risk your speed to pick up coins, but the coins have time bonuses that subtract from your time. So you got to weigh the strategy, and so far the strategy appears that picking up coins is the way to go. So that's moved officially to the 21st of March. So just bumping it up a week. So and that leads us into, also Watchtower Weekend is also going to be on the 2021st too. So I'm not sure how many people are doing that. Typically, Oklahoma has a really good showing for that. I know my buddy Alan White for Bike Lab is going to do the gravel on Saturday. So they are doing a gravel race on Saturday, and they are doing the actual mountain bike race on Sunday, which is different than usual. They usually do a mountain bike ride tour on Saturday, and then they do the mountain bike race on Sunday. But they're doing gravel on Saturday, and they're doing the mountain bike race on Sunday. I'm not going. I didn't register. Again, just physically, I'm not in a place where I can go do big events like that yet. So I'm getting there. And this weekend helped that a little bit. So that leads us into Sooner Stampede, March the 28th. So I'm going to keep this ball rolling. It's really kind of cool having two of our biggest venues up, 1 and 2. With the amount of people that we had registered and stoked about racing bikes at St. Crispin's, I can only imagine what we're going to have at Sooner Stampede. Team warm-up, Lake Thunderbird, the crew, the blow-up pub, cool courses. The courses are actually, I think I saw a post where the courses might already be marked, just because they have such a solid crew out there. The same course as they had planned on doing last year that they couldn't do. I don't know what that course is. I can't remember now, even though I did pre-write it, but now I don't remember. But it'll be fun. It's always awesome. And like I said, we'll probably do more about that race soon. I anticipate a remote team warm-up pub or like a brewery type interview for the Weekly Wizard update leading up to that. So, and I may have a couple of back-to-back remotes because I have Forrest Smith that I'm hoping is going to come down, an old buddy, and one of the OG True to Dirt racers who currently works in Wisconsin at Trek Factory. And so I may do a back-to-back interview with him, and then with team warm-up and talking about Sooner Stampede. So we'll go all Sooner Stampede here in a week or two when we can do that. That'll be cool, and talk to all the members and all that good stuff. So, and I might add that Michael Bond that gave me this wonderful bottle of whiskey, Irish whiskey, Jameson's, also rides for team warm-up. So thumbs up to the Plaid boys and girls. And you guys had a great presence out at St. Crispin's. So glad to see you all out there. And that leads us to, many of you saw it. This is the last thing on my list. I'm not really going to go further than March and April. I'm just going to stick with March for right now. We've got March the 16th, which is this weekend, which again will be questionable. Just depends. The 23rd and 30th. And then we're going to do April the 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th. So Tulsa is doing a cross short track practice on those dates. March 16th, March 23rd, March 30th, April 6th, April 13th, April 20th, April 27th. And all of that is leading up to one cross season, but also, since it's very similar to short track, it's also leading up to a short track state championship that is going to be held on May 2nd. So pretty cool things going there. And so even though here on our side, I know that not everybody's in Tulsa, people are on Oklahoma City or even further on my side, but just keep this in mind. Short track state championship, May 2nd. So if you're planning on getting prepped for that, might start doing some high intensity intervals. So, alrighty, that's all I have. And I'm right at 59 minutes, so not too bad. I'll take it. It's a good show. If you guys have any last minute things, I'm going to check real quick, see if I have any missed messages. I do not think I missed anything. And all right, I think I'm going to go ahead and close up shop. And I will see you guys next week. And yeah, I don't know what I think next week's probably going to be a regular show. It's kind of a gap week between races. It's my spring break. I'm on spring break, so I don't know. Maybe I'll go somewhere on spring break and do something remote. Who knows? I'll probably have to start going steed and weed eating. So we'll see what happens. So, all right, I'm out. Love you guys. See you next week. Ride bikes, have fun, be cool.